What's up? It's me back again, Analog Attack, and today we've got Vinyl Record Store Focus Episode 2, all the way from Richmond, Virginia. Bobby from Vinyl Conflict. How you doing, mate?
What's going on, man? I'm doing all right.
We're going to do a little cheers from across the pond.
Hey, Kampai.
Kampai, what are you drinking there? What are you drinking?
I got a Highlight. It's a Cigar City.
Oh, I've had a Cigar City beer in Osaka.
Oh, awesome. It's
Yeah, the craft beer place I go to.
Oh, awesome.
I'm drinking a wheat beer. This one.
All right.
Have you seen this Ginga Kogen? Japanese beer?
I recognize the can.
Yeah, it's like just a wheat beer. You can buy it in Family Mart. It's pretty nice.
Unfortunately, I kind of sticks with a strong.
Oh, you're a heavy drinker. Anyway, Bobby, we're not here to talk about beer. We're here to talk about records, right? So, Vinyl Conflicts. Tell us a story, man. When did you open the store?
Awesome. Well, actually, I'm the second owner of the store.
Okay.
The shop opened in 2008.
Okay.
It was opened by Brandon and Lauren Farrell.
Right.
Brandon was in, at the time, a number of bands: Government Warning, Waste of Time, Southside Stranglers, Direct Control. Yeah, man. The list goes on.
I knew you were going to mention Brandon, so I thought I'd hold up a
Absolutely.
Direct Control record. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, Waste of Time. I mean, the list goes on. I can't even, it really just continues.
Large discography.
He played drums on the first Municipal Waste album.
Did he really? I did not know that.
He also played drums on, I believe, Career Suicide's Attempted Suicide.
Wow.
And it doesn't stop, man. I
did not know that. Wow.
And what's really cool about Vinyl Conflict is when they opened the shop, it was actually the only other shop in Richmond at the time. So in 2008, the only shop in town was a store called Plan 9, which is still here.
Okay.
A massive store.
All right.
And they've been going, I think they've been open since, I couldn't tell you the exact year, but the 80s, maybe 70s, but I think the 80s. And since then, a number of stores have opened. Richmond's got probably 8, maybe 9 record stores now.
That's quite a lot, yeah. Wow.
But when they opened, they were the second store.
Okay.
So I moved to Richmond in 2010, and at some point in the Junction started working here. And in 2012, I took over the shop.
Okay.
So me and my wife moved down here, 2010. I was working for a record distributor. And so the opportunity arose. They had kids and moved to Rochester, New York, and we just decided to try to keep the shop going, and it's still here. So.
I've seen a picture of the outside of the building. It's a really nice looking little building there.
I would take the computer out and show you, but it's dark now.
Yeah, it's okay. No, I saw it and I was like, wow, that's a really nice,
Actually, this is fun.
Okay.
I didn't pull this, but it just happens to be sitting here.
All right.
This is a photograph of the building. The year is 1908, excuse me.
Wow.
So it's like the same shop front. Now there's a little bit of a glare from the computer. But
I can see it. Yeah,
the building's been here for a very, very, very long time.
I was going to say, that was my first impression when I saw the picture. I think it's on your website. You've got a photo of the shop, and I was like, wow, that's a really cool looking building there. Yeah.
So what's cool about this neighborhood is it's actually just a residential neighborhood. It's been here for a very, very long time, and we're one of, I think, 3 businesses, and there's 2 restaurants, there's 2 churches, and a high school.
Okay.
But it's all residential otherwise.
Okay.
So we're just a couple blocks south of the college, VCU.
All right.
But it's really not a shopping district so much. We're trying to make it a little bit more, accessible in that sense, but it's really tucked away.
Okay. One of the things I was going to say is about Vinyl Conflict is you've kind of got the best name for a record store. It's like just the perfect name for a punk record store.
Yeah. A couple people, I wish I had come up with it. A couple people have taken claim to the name.
Okay.
But Tony from the Ladies and Now in Sick Bags, he stands pretty by having come up with it, and I believe his story. But a few other people have claimed it as well. And I wasn't here in 2008. I can't.
It's like it's just the perfect name.
Final Conflict's an incredible band.
Right.
Both of them.
I used to think that like Vinyl Solution was a good name. Then I realized that Final Solution, Vinyl Conflict is
That's
much.
a whole concept. It's a
Right,
whole
right.
conversation.
Yeah. So you've got the label too, right?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So Brandon had No Way Records, which was a pretty powerhouse of a label. They were releasing everything. I honestly, I think they had a lot to do with the kind of 80s punk revival of pop bands. Them and a couple other labels for sure. And at the end, they were doing Vinyl Conflict. They did a couple bands under that moniker. When I took over, I made a new catalog because I didn't feel I had personally any part of this project, even though they're awesome records I wish I could have released. Right. And we started the catalog over. I started it out the gate. I was doing it as a sub-label of Grave Mistake Records.
Oh, really? Wow.
We did the label together for many years. And at some point, I just kind of split on my own and kept doing the label.
So how many releases have you got up until now?
Loud Night's number 31.
Okay, I'm going to show this record because I had a Loud Night. I had an actual Loud Night last night, and now I've got this Loud Night record, which is funny because Daniel was the one that kind of introduced me to this because he posted about it on the Sorry State. And then I bought it. I was like, Jesus, it's Vinyl Conflict put this out. So,
yeah.
Great record. How would you describe this, Bobby?
I love it. I mean, the things I want to call it, the obvious is like a Motorhead Discharge kind of thing.
Yeah,
I feel like way better than trying to knock it under that category. Although like bands like Inepsy are just incredible.
Right.
It's very new wave of British heavy metal influenced. Motorhead is the right thing. But it's not a copy,
No.
Everybody in that band's in so many other cool bands, and they all know their stuff. So I think they've just really like perfected this noise they're going for. Right. Everybody in the band's a powerhouse. Live, it's like, man, I wish this band. They've been playing for years, but I wish this record came out with them being able to tour because they are just incredible. They're awesome live. So
they're a local band.
Oh, they're from Richmond. Okay, so the Vinyl Conflict label, we release all local bands.
Oh, okay. So who else have you put out up until now?
Oh my gosh, it's quite the roster these days.
Oh yeah.
Loud Night. Before that, we did Gumming.
Okay.
Kind of a. Oh man, do I have one? Yeah. Gumming.
Okay.
It's more of like an amphetamine reptile, like kind of sound, like touch and go, kind of noisy.
Wow.
I think Flipper meets, Big Black, but just very aggressive, abrasive.
Wow.
Stuff. Some of the first ones we put out were like Barge, Devil Hands, Hard Stripes, Cretans. Oh man, if I try to run down this, I'm gonna forget so many bands. We did all 7 inches up to one point. And at that point, we switched over and did a couple LPs for 2 bands called Asylum and Left Cross.
Okay.
Asylum's just very like, crust punk, very awesome, like Nausea kind of.
Right.
Left Cross is death metal, just really incredible. Jackie should have that one. If you like the Loud Night, I think he carried that too.
All right, I'll ask him. Okay.
Left Cross. And then we did a number of cassette tapes when 7 inches kind of got too expensive. Way too many to name, but that was really fun because it was allowing me to like, where I couldn't invest in vinyl, I was able to do 100 cassette tapes and reprint them if they sold really quickly.
So was that like a conscious decision that you're only going to release like local bands? Was that like?
Yes,
that's pretty cool. I can't think of many labels. Well, there are obviously throughout history, but that's pretty incredible. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I know there's many stores that do labels. It's become such a competition's the incorrect word. I think there's just so many people out there doing so much. The idea behind in the shop label was to give some of the bands that maybe hadn't caught the attention on the bigger spectrum and try to like not only bring those bands to that level, but also just like try to spread it within Richmond. So, sometimes when a label releases something, maybe it doesn't get to the stores in town. And, I'm able to release it and actually physically myself go to the stores in town.
Right.
Make sure our titles are available. And that helps the band out a lot.
Cool.
We've even done a little bit with hip hop. There's a local artist, Nicholas F. We did an LP for, maybe I can pull this quickly.
Yeah. That's a great cover. That looks like a hardcore punk record.
Right.
Yeah.
Jason from Count Me Out and Cloak Dagger, he did the cover.
You did
for
cover.
it.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
cool, man.
it's good. You should definitely check it out.
Yeah.
So like we even did a sub label called Fantastic Damage and released a bunch of cassette tapes. And I did another LP for a local artist, Noah O, under that moniker. If I try to name everything, it'll just be talking about that for too long. But yeah,
Wow.
we're at like 31 releases with the label, and it's been really cool.
So Loud Night's the newest one, right?
Loud Night's the most recent one.
Yeah.
And then before that was Gumming, and then before that, I believe, was the Circuit 7-inch. I can grab that quickly, otherwise, yep, here it is.
Wow, you're on the ball, man. You know where everything is. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Where everything is. I know where everything is, and I can flip very quickly.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was like, wow. He's like, yeah, wow, yeah. I'm not going to go record shopping with you. I'll lose every time.
No, it'll be good.
So, should we talk about the situation? Do you want to go there? How's it been going for you?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's different week to week.
Okay.
So we were in England in March when everything shut down. We had gone to the Static Shock Festival, me and my wife, Melissa. And we were doing a full tour of the UK. We went to Wales and Scotland and did like a full trip through everything and the restrictions that happened while we were over there. So while we were still in England, we had to make the decision to close. And just being in a state of panic, it was just like, well, let's just close. And I didn't want to lose my employees. I didn't want anybody to get hurt by it. So I told them to lock the doors. Nobody was allowed in, and just start listing everything you can get your fingers on to Discogs. Just start today. Just from the time we open to the time we close, just start listing. And they did that. And we came home. I quarantined for 2 weeks. I actually didn't even come in my store, and I was having them give me boxes, like leaving them outside, lock the door, and I was taking boxes home, and I was listing from home. Because at that point, I'd say probably maybe 40% of our stock was online. 60% was in store only.
Right.
So from March until July, we were online only. The entire time just listing records. I mean, and eventually we got through it all.
Nice.
As a lot of people who have also agreed, online sales between those months were crazy. So like, in the process of like listing all these items, we were selling them too. So we were just doing mail order for months, which honestly got very exhausting. I felt very lucky that we had an income, but we were operating with the lights off because people were trying to come in the store, and we were like trying not to encourage that. At that point, we were not letting anybody in, even if they walked up. And that like just kind of got exhaustive after a while.
I saw the other day you did like a little outside in the front of the shop. You did a little thing.
Yeah. We get there. So initially we switched to just appointments only. So that's something we're still doing. We have a website on. There's like a link in our bio on Instagram and Facebook.
All right.
And you can book a half hour or a full hour appointment. There's like a little deposit to hold the space, and you get that out in your final purchase. So it's like $10 for a half hour and $20 for a full hour, but you get that money back.
Wow.
And you get a private shopping experience. It's just for you plus one. Nobody else is allowed in the store.
Right.
And we did that for pretty much until you saw the table. The table, it got nice out because all summer it's been really hot. It finally got to like a cool enough temperature. I was like, and we just started piling up records. It wasn't, we were getting more in than was going out. Because people have finally started, like, the collections are showing up pretty frequently now.
Right.
And which is cool, but it's also like a tough time because like some of the collections we're seeing aren't people that are really excited to be selling them. And I'm not that guy. I do care, and it does affect me. And it's exciting as it is to see the stuff. It like sometimes the stories hurt. And
I was talking to Lou from Slicky Boys the other day. That was a great interview, but at the end he showed some of his singles, and he was saying like, you know what, these might have to go sometime soon. They might, if the situation keeps continuing. He said he might have to get rid of his Misfits and stuff like
Well, this is the time to do it because those things are just going up in value
that.
rapidly.
Right.
So yeah, we decided with the table we had like a pretty big new arrival section, and even at our best, if we're taking appointments, I'm only seeing 6 to 8 appointments at the max. I think it's 7 appointments at its maximum, at its best.
Okay.
So I thought if I put the table outside and we had a chance to kind of regulate it, we could ask people to like, really be careful and get space. And it was awesome because like I'm standing out there, or one of my employees is standing out there with hand sanitizer. You have to wear a mask. We spray you before you touch anything. And it gave a chance for some people to buy 1 record, buy 2 records. And the people who are booking the appointments are pretty serious shoppers. It's awesome. It's a lot of regulars and people who are coming back every couple of weeks. But I'm missing a lot of my like college students because the campus isn't even open, and neighbors and everybody. Like a lot of people, if they don't know that they're going to spend any money, a $10 deposit's kind of a gamble, which I understand. It's tough for us to decide whether we want to do that $10 deposit or not because we have such few slots. We kind of like, as far as surviving through the pandemic, I kind of need to know that the people that we're going to allow in our doors are going to spend some sort of money.
Right.
I've talked about it with all my friends who do stores. I've heard everybody who thinks it's a great idea to the people who think I'm being crazy. And I just have to like, this isn't how I want to do business. This is how we're going to do business right now.
Yeah, you mean
that's really what it comes down to. I mean, I understand the criticism, and I don't love it myself, but I just have to understand. I have to just remind myself that we're doing this right now.
Yeah,
this is for right now. And keeping the lights on right now is what's going to make the store amazing when we reopen. So that's what that is. Being able to set up outside was really nice because it was almost better than the appointment days because we just saw a high sheer amount of people coming through, and they're staying for a shorter period of time, buying 2 or 3 records, and then someone else buys 2 or 3 records, and someone else buys 2 or 3 records, and it was like it was great. But I mean, it's already too cold. Today was like 50 degrees.
Damn. So Bobby, like I can see, like you're standing in front of a bunch of records. I can see like RF7 and English Dogs and like. So what's that behind you? Is that the wall, as you might say?
This is the wall.
Okay.
This is the wall.
But I think you might have got.
Top row is going to be the most expensive, and then we work our way down.
Willful neglect.
Yeah.
But I think you've pulled some off, right, to show us, right?
I pulled some to talk about them. I mean, all of these are worth talking about.
Okay.
But I didn't want to pull stuff just to be like, hey, this is $100.
Right. I
wanted to pull stuff I could talk to you about.
Yeah.
We can talk about the 100 copy, crude LP. But I don't really have a ton to talk about because obviously crude rules. But I don't really know a lot other than.
I feel like I used to have that.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
On Deranged Records. But I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff up there. I mean, we got like a Warzone Lower East Side crew, Charles Bronson, Willful Neglect, Rigor Mortis.
Whoa. And
we're just constantly changing them out. I try to leave the wall full at all times.
Yeah.
It's literally not full because we got stuff to talk about. I try to keep it changing, and I try not to leave anything up there too long, even if it's expensive. I try to make sure the wall's different, so you're not seeing these museum pieces. Like,
yeah, I know that's a good point. Actually, sometimes when you go into a store, like, and it's like, they still got the same stuff there. It's like, yeah. So I think like you pulled out some piles to show, right? I'm excited to see what you've got. So what's your first pile, Bobby?
Okay, so I pulled some. Let's start with the wall. You think the wall's a good place to start?
Sure, man.
So the first one I pulled, White Cross, Richmond band, came out on 0 Degree Records. It's 1982, released in 1983, I believe. Just hardcore punk rock.
Yeah.
Really incredible record. It's funny because for a long time, the logo White Cross, everybody sees the cross, but something I learned from an interview they did recently is the cross. It was actually an amphetamine pill.
Okay.
They would break up and take. So that's what a white cross is. It's nothing to do with the cross. It was about taking amphetamines. Which
Wow. I love the cover on that one. It's just so like,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah.
They released an LP and a 7-inch, and definitely one of Richmond's best bands. And I believe, if I understood correctly, Beach Impediment is about to do reissues.
Oh,
so
tasty.
Yeah, they'll be ready for the masses soon.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
The next one. This is my favorite band.
Okay.
And I got this one recently. I was really excited to get it, and then this is a promo copy of the Diva EP.
Oh,
Japanese pressing.
Yeah, with the red kind of promo.
Red strip. I got really excited, and I took it home, and my copy was a promo copy, and I was like, I thought I was upgrading. I'm a Diva fanatic, so
that I think I have seen those around, but maybe not with the red. Yeah,
I thought so too. I don't know how I got so lucky to find 2 copies. I've got most of the Japanese pressing Diva records.
Yeah, they're around. Yeah,
this EP is incredible. It's I think only 4 or 5 songs. Yeah.
Nope,
6 songs.
Is that like a Japan only thing? Like
no.
No, okay.
This is like an early EP.
Okay.
This is the Japanese pressing.
Just okay.
So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it is cool, man.
And then I thought I'd go into one of my other favorite bands. I've had a UK pressing of Septic Death.
Oh.
Gotta have your attention.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, you were talking on the other show. I think it was you shopping in Osaka.
Yeah.
You came across the Thrasher compilation.
Yeah. I forget which one. The Wild Riders of Boards, maybe?
Yeah. I need that, by the way. So if
it's in Time Bomb. It's probably still there. I'll have a look.
Let me know.
Yeah.
This band's just so crazy because while Septic Death is just like crazy sounding, just the boot print that Puss had left on punk in general, I think a lot of people, it took me a while to like even realize how much she had to do between Thrasher and Maximum Rock and Roll. A lot of these like name brand international bands, I think, kind of came that way between his tape trading and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's through Septic Death, I've just really, I don't know, man. I'm fanatical about them. They have so much incredible history.
Just him writing about Lip Cream in Thrasher magazine and stuff like that. And like, I mean, he was a real trailblazer with that stuff,
Well, it's almost funny that you think that at one hand, like Pusshead is really obscure and underground, but when you look at it, he was attempting to show it to the masses.
Yeah.
It was in Thrasher. You could have learned about Alto. Not saying anybody should have or shouldn't have. It's just like I think he really had really awesome intention of showing people international punk at a very early time.
He comes to Osaka fairly often because he's good friends with Funyara, right? They're good friends. So yeah.
Funyara's been really awesome. He's shown us Osaka, and he's been really supportive of everything.
A great guy. For everyone watching, we're talking about Funyara from City Indian and the Bones, and he's got his own store in Osaka.
Astro Zombies.
He's a character.
He's awesome.
Yeah. So, shout out to Funyara.
What's up, man? I hope you watch it.
He won't be watching.
Send him the link.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, hold on. I'll start pulling my toys out.
All right. No, God.
To follow up the Septic Death, I had to do the Cleanse the Bacteria.
I saw the Japanese pressing of that just the other day.
Oh yeah.
It should have a flexi with it too, right? The Japanese one. Is that right?
The Japanese one does. I don't believe this one does,
okay.
But it's a super awesome comp. It's got everybody from like 7 Seconds, but Siege, COC, Crude SF, The Execute, Part 1, Idea, Mob 47. I was just showing my friend this compilation, and again, going back to the obscurity versus the accessibility, what I think is so cool about this compilation more than anything is on the back cover, he gave the addresses of all the bands. So like when this came out, if you liked the bands you heard, this was like you could contact any of these bands.
That's what we used to do back in the day.
Yeah.
So write letters.
It's on the cover. It's not in the booklet. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I pulled.
That's funny. One thing I want to mention. Like I don't know if you know, a lot of the old like Japanese records just had like the singer's phone number or something like on the back. I also thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, some of the early 87 inches will have a phone number.
Phone number. Yeah.
I like that.
or the mum's address.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. So this next one I pulled was a two-parter. It's a record second record is a record I'm considering keeping.
Okay.
But we'll get there. So
All
I
right.
pulled Untitled Citizens.
Fantastic.
It's German, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, really killer German punk.
German hardcore is a funny one. There's not a huge amount of really killer bands, but Upright Citizens are up
Awesome.
there. Awesome.
And then I ended up getting the Bomb EP, which is actually on that record.
Oh.
This came out before.
It's Upright Citizens. Okay. Yeah.
So I think it's just 7 or 8 tracks.
Okay.
This thing's super cool. I mean, this is actually just the insert. This is the cover. I put it in there just because, like, that, you know.
Yeah.
This looks cooler.
It does.
Yeah. So I thought this one was really awesome. I'm on the fence about keeping it because it's expensive, but this is like a really unique. This is the only copy I've ever seen.
I've never seen it. First time.
I thought it'd be cool to talk about.
It is cool, man. Thanks for showing it to me. First time for me too.
Dill 7-inch.
Nice.
What records?
Hey,
Rich. This one, actually, I'm not a fan of, but kind of cool because not a thing that pops up that much. We have a Smith's test pressing right now.
A Smith's test pressing?
That's not something that pops
What
up.
is that? Is that like a 7-inch? What song?
The song is What Difference Does It Make?
Oh, that's a good one, though. That's kind of a good one. The early, one of the early
here
ones.
all summer. I think because of the pandemic, I think if we were open, this would be the sort of thing that would have been like way gone.
Right.
Yeah. Got that. I pulled a couple fun ones.
We like fun.
This one. So this is the kind of fun stuff that I think is really cool about our shop that you may not see in another store. We also really love like modern hardcore and the collectibles. So like a lot of like hardcore bands will make like limited edition covers and stuff. And between the band members shopping in the store and Richmond having like a really big hardcore scene, it's fun because we'll get things like test pressings. Or I collect test pressings, so I like to bring them in and have them on the shelf. And I feel like not a lot of stores will advertise their test pressings and stuff.
Yeah.
But one of Richmond's biggest hardcore bands, modern, is a band called Down to Nothing. And so we have a copy of the Rejected test press for, I think this is the Undefeated All My Sons 7-inch, I believe. So it's a Chung King ripoff.
I was going to say, yeah.
That's been a fun one to look at.
Is that just the test pressing cover, or is...
That's just the test pressing cover.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Came out on Reaper Records.
Cool.
Let's see. I pulled a couple New York hardcore records. One of my favorite genres. My favorite genres. I've got the Outburst Miles to Go.
Cool.
Which also just got reissued. We have the reissue as well. It came out on LP.
Right.
This is the original 7-inch on Blackout. And then one of my favorite, I think this is a sleeper hit. I mean, people like it, but I feel like they're not as popular as many of the other ones, is Crackdown.
Yeah. That's a great record. Yeah,
that's
an
awesome record. Definitely like caught my eye when I was really young because the skateboarder on the cover.
I always like just the name of the band. It sounds more like, I don't know, like a different vibe to it. Yeah.
It's got a little skateboard on the center label.
Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah. Let's see. I think I got one more wall record. And there's way more, but I got a lot of stacks.
All right.
I pulled a Los Microwave single.
Nice.
California punk, kind of synthy. I wouldn't call it new wave. I'd say it's punk, but really catchy, really thematic. I love this band a lot. So. The next thing I pulled, just because it was sitting out, we just got these in, and I think they're really cool. I don't think they're super new, but Smart Records from Finland has been doing these like kind of reissue series box sets of their EPs. They're all like early 80s, 7-inches from Finland. And I think they're all like impossible to find.
That is a crazy label.
Yes.
Like they release so much stuff. They've even been doing like Finnish free jazz reissues and stuff like that.
We just started ordering with them. We've been meaning to for a long time, and we've hit them up a couple times to get the catalog, but we finally are like, okay, all 3 of the employees, we're going to sit down and look at it. Yeah, there's a
It's
jazz
mind-blowing
section,
the amount of stuff they put out, right?
there's a techno section, there's a folk
Right.
section, and then like, you know, the punk stuff was cool, but then the metal, I wasn't ready
Yeah.
for it. Like,
I mean,
so
it's unbelievable. Yeah, I checked it out myself actually. I like that label. I think they're a good label. You know, like some people might kind of like, but I think they're a good label. Yeah.
Yeah, they did some cool. Actually, grab them.
Go on then.
The popular cells we've had, or they did the winter reissue. It's a
They did, yeah. I mean, they, yeah.
This was the popular one, Convulse.
I've got that. Yeah. It's a classic. Yeah.
So, you know, I wanted to order Cola Kesla and the Hurricanes and Epu Normali.
Yeah.
Cool ones, but we ended up selling tons more of that. So we're just digging in. I think we want to start carrying, not the free jazz, because
that's a tough one.
I don't know who knows about.
I just thought it was really cool that they were doing that. You know, very cool.
But I want to start getting their kind of electro stuff. I think it'd be really neat to check some of that out.
Right.
Awesome. So I don't know. I just have a bunch of records we can talk about.
So that's the wall, right? The stuff you've just shown is from the wall, right?
Everything we just looked at was on the wall.
Okay. So, like, do you have any like other stacks, like different?
The next stacks there's new arrivals, and then I brought some records that were just kind of chilling in the shelf that I really love.
Let's chill with the chilling records.
All right, so these have been here. These aren't flying. These are just records that they might be here for a little while. But if you find our Discogs page, you can order them.
A little bit of product placement going on. Yeah.
Cola Freaks from Denmark.
That's so weird. I just bought that like a couple of weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, I love it.
But it's definitely one of those records that's like, I see what you mean. It's not flying, right? It's not going anywhere.
No, I mean, I think it's available. I think it's still in print. It was on Douchemaster Records. It's cool synth punk. I found out about them. They opened for Jay Retard. They were his backing band. They were his backing band on tour.
Really?
So I saw them kind of in a cold call situation. We went to go see him, and they opened, and it was just like, and then years later,
that's a killer record that people are kind of sleeping on a little bit.
I mean, $8 well spent. They
have
absolutely. You know, probably I think 6 or 7 7-inch singles. I think that might be their only full length. There's a live LP. Just really great, incredible. It's kind of they're named after that Lost Kids single.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
But years later, when we moved to Richmond, I actually had the opportunity to book them, and they stayed in our first apartment, which was super tiny, and everybody in the band was like Scandinavian and 7 feet tall. And I didn't realize how many people were staying with us, and like it just looked like Tetris in our living room. Like they took up the whole house. But super great guys, and I think their singer Mads he's involved in a record store, I believe, in Denmark.
Right. Wow.
I think called Blacklight, but maybe I'm incorrect. So yeah, I love that record. I love showing it to people. That's something I just like to throw on. The next one I pulled is another record. I think it's again a little obscure. It's 1982, also from Denmark. It's a new wave record called Cliche.
Wow.
This record?
First time for me. First time. Yep.
Not an expert. It played for me when we went to Denmark a few years ago. And one thing is like when we go to record stores, we're always like looking for the punk section, but typically everybody is.
Right.
So we get in the habit of asking the employees for other styles of music just because like I'm interested to learn.
Yeah. Sure.
So the big thing I usually go is like, hey, tell me about your country's Devo. Tell me about your country's Kraftwerk. And this was a recommendation from an employee. And it's incredible. It's just really catchy, 80s, very synthetic. I want to say that we heard it at a store called, oh my gosh, we were just talking about it. I don't know. It's been a few years.
Yeah.
But it's one of those records that, having been from Denmark, I find it in America all the time.
Okay.
It just chills in weird shelves, because nobody's heard of it, and it just happens to be an incredible record.
Let's show it again, Bobby.
Yeah,
show it once more.
Absolutely.
Cliche. The name of the record is
Okay, Boys.
Okay,
It's
okay, boys.
really,
Yeah.
really catchy.
Mm.
And I found it a number of times now. If you're just into that like kind of new wave Devo,
Mm.
Kraftwerk, stuff like that, it's
That's very cool record to show. Excellent. Yeah.
The next one I pulled is one of my favorites. I ended up with a sealed copy. I have an original first press now. Otherwise, I'd be all over this one. Although I open sealed records, they're for listening.
Yeah.
I have Red Cross Born Innocent, California.
I have a version of that. I'm not sure what pressing I have though.
This is a 1986 press. It has a few different covers.
I think that's probably the one I have actually. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So getting a sealed copy was really neat.
Yeah.
So that one's been sitting here because I think
I hate that. What's that all about? Like with the cutting the corners of the record.
Cutting the corners. Typically, it was a couple of things. It was either a promo, like for a store. I think I've heard a couple of different things. So I think it was a promo, so you couldn't resell it. I've heard radio stations did it a little bit, but they do different things. Sometimes they'll write on the cover. But I've also heard about the clipping of the corner. I've also heard that stores. This is just a rumor. They would clip the corner when they put it on sale because they didn't want to buy it back.
I see.
So if you brought records into a store to sell, if it had clipped corners, it was like, get it out of here.
Right. Interesting. Yeah.
I think some of those are true.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Next one. Star Club.
It's over there. I've got, that is a ripper of a record.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's so like high energy, like a little bit raw. I mean, that's their best record in my opinion. But
you think this one's their best?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They were one of the first bands I kind of got obsessive of over there because they have so many records.
They do.
But they're all pretty affordable. And I think on my last trip I bought like 3 or 4 copies of it, and I still have them. And they're not quite the name that a lot of the other groups are, so people don't really jump on them as hard.
The thing is, in Japan they were quite big. And they're a Nagoya band, right? So they were quite a big, but that kind of scene where it's kind of like the kind of like 77 punk style bands.
Yeah.
Major label.
Huge catalog.
Yeah. And then, but in the 80s, they kind of started getting a little bit of metal. A lot of CD only releases that are a little bit metal. Like. There's
a few bands that kind of did that trajectory. Like Laughing Nose kind of did that too.
They
They have the Meat Market record.
Yeah.
Which we had, but I think we recently sold.
That's a weird one. That shows up a lot in the bins here. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I love Star Club. I think they're really cool.
Yeah, very good band. And they had their own kind of label too, or their own like office, like Star the Club, and they kind of signed other bands too, and like managed them. They were like managing other bands too. Like
I'll have to look into that. I don't know much about that.
Yeah, Star the Club office, the management company. Yeah.
I pulled the Sperm Birds, Something to Prove.
Classic. Man, I saw them like a couple of times in England, like back in the late 80s. Some of the unbelievable bands. Like,
so that's a band. They're all German, but the singer is American?
Singer's Lee Hollis. He was a GI based in Germany. Yeah, that confused me when I first got it. I was like, these guys are German. Why does he sound like that? And then, of course, I found out he's American GI.
Raging record.
Amazing. I like their first 3 or 4 a lot, but that one especially is wow.
Yeah.
My God, ride a skateboard.
Yep. I had all the records and we sold them, but I still have the Slicky Boys. They're a DC first wave punk band.
DC band, yeah.
This is a live record.
Okay.
I pulled the other ones. One of my favorites of that era, but also pulling it because I was going to tell you that I'm doing a reissue for one of their early 7 inches on the label. Because maybe not a local Richmond band, but it is a Virginia band. So I'm pretty excited about that one.
Cool.
Some of these I can cruise through, but there's a couple that I see that I want to talk about, and I see
talk about them.
The clock is just ticking, man.
It is, man. 45 minutes. Having fun, man. But yeah, what's next, Comp?
Punk in Brussels. Everything is shit. It's 1977 through 1979 singles. I guess we've talked about a couple different places, but Belgium just has some really killer groups.
Yeah, yeah.
Compulsion, the Mad Virgins, Raxola.
Raxola's a good band. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is actually just really catchy.
The kid,
This is actually,
are the kids on that? Are the
kids are not on this.
That's weird, right?
Yeah,
I guess they're too big. Big band,
well,
major label.
So this was actually my copy. I have a couple other Belgian comps, and they had a lot of crossover to the point where I was like, this was the one I could get rid of, because between like Bloodstains and just a couple other things, this one just was the odd man out. This had more overlap, so I let go of this one. But this is actually really just a great record in itself.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any...
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't think there was anything on this that wasn't on the other ones.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if we can get if it's readable, but...
I can read it, kind of. Yeah.
I'll send you a link. And
okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, we'll put them in the video description. Yeah.
In the comp section, still, I pulled the DC Bouncing Babies compilation. Super cool. It's got a Artificial Peace.
Well, that was a raging band.
Void and Government Issue. Scream. 9353, which is kind of weird industrial noise. Beaver, which is really cool. If you've ever heard Beaver, that's like pre-Government Issue. Just awesome.
Really? Who's in that? Who from Government Issues is in that band?
I'm gonna say.
Sorry, put you on the spot there.
You're fine. Putting me on the spot, I'm gonna fail. But
yeah,
that's what Discogs is for. No, I'm about 90% positive it was 1 to 2 members of Government Issue.
Okay.
Off the top of my head is gonna look on me right now.
Could be Tom. Might not be Tom.
It might, but I'm not feeling confident about it.
Right. Okay.
In the DC vein, a record that I feel like doesn't get enough love, and I just had a used copy for pretty cheap. 3 Dark Days Ahead.
Man, I bought that when it came out and like played it to death. Isn't that like it's like grey matter? Am I right? Right.
It is.
Much more melodic and kind of.
I mean,
good emo when emo was good.
I like where they went with 3 versus where Grey Matter went.
Right. Yeah.
Like this could have been the next Grey Matter record,
right.
And it's all in the same era with Revolution Summer and stuff.
Grey Matter Fog is not a good record, right?
No, it's not my favorite. I like this better than Fog, for sure. And I'm a huge Grey Matter fan.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, hard to find though the Grey Matter records. They don't show up, man. Here.
Maybe around your way. We're an hour and a half south of Washington.
Right.
So
what's the one? Take It Back, and what's the other one?
Take It Back and Food for Thought. Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Last one I pulled is pretty easy to come across, but we have a used copy right now, and I just love it, and I'm just gonna plug it because I just
go ahead.
Talking about it. Trapped Under Ice.
Trapped Under Ice.
Yeah, wild card with that stack, but
yeah.
This was a really cool band for me. Those are friends of mine. We kind of all grew up in the same hardcore scene together, and we had bands that played together, and then Trapped Under Ice just kind of like happened in that world. It was just really incredible to see that band kind of blow up in our peer group, and like what the guys are just doing today,
right?
And the impression they left. I don't know. I mean, it goes without saying like that they're a very popular band, but kind of witnessing that trajectory. Additionally, with having the store and kind of coming up in that and everything, that's a band I feel like I had my chance. If one day when everybody's like, "Oh man, back in the day we went and saw Negative Approach," blah blah, I got to see Trapped Under Ice and I got to live that, and that was a really special time.
Cool.
Whatever. I'm happy to talk about that one. I love them so much.
Nice.
I know it's oddball for the rest of the records I talked about.
No, man, not at all.
So here's some fun new arrivals.
Okay, cool.
I don't know how much time do we have.
Oh, let's keep going, man. We're having a good time.
I'm talking too much. I pulled a Damned kind of greatest hits thing, and this was a fun story. So the reason with this one, the reason I'm pulling this one is because it has a good memory to go with it.
Okay,
this is actually my copy, and I'm going through a downsize right now. I was at a record fair in Asbury Park, New Jersey, and the Damned were playing that evening at the Stone Pony, and we're at the record fair, we're selling, and then these whispers start going, "Yo, the Damned are here," and everybody's like, "What's going on?" Just from like across the room, I just see Captain Sensible just wearing like fuzzy pants and like a weird jacket and the sunglasses. the beret. He just I like looked over at the next table and they had this record, but they had like a modern repressing of it. And I just like, it's like, can I buy this? I just bought it and I ran over to him and I had him sign it and I got to talk to him for a minute. And then Dave is the singer. I'm fucking blanking right now.
Dave Vanian.
Yeah. He shows up. He's incognito. He's actually wearing a costume. He called it a costume. He was actually dressed normal.
Okay. It was a costume for him, right? Yeah.
He was dressed normal. He actually he was not wearing his stage garb.
He's a funny character, man.
He actually was shocked that I recognized him. He's like, oh, you weren't supposed to know who I was. So I got them to sign it. And this is actually an original pressing, but I have a signed one and I don't need multiples. So I actually signed it.
I have a funny like damn story similar to that. Like, I guess like 1991, my friend Yumikis, who does like the MCR label, came to visit me, stayed in England with me. We took him to Heathrow Airport. We're waiting to send him off on his plane back to Japan. Coming back in through the gates, the Damned back from their Japan tour. And they walked right up to us, and I think it was the captain or Rat Scabies just looked over and he goes, "You fucking punks," like that, and they just walked off. But my friend Yumikis, it blew his mind. It's like his last few minutes in England, he sees the Damned coming towards him.
Holy shit! He probably knew they were playing over there and bummed he missed the tour.
Yeah, when we didn't have time, it just happened so quickly. We had no time to like talk to him. It just like.
Wow.
It was a good memory for him though, Yumikis. You know, like seeing the Damned. It was almost like, yeah, if you go to England, you're going to see the Damned or the Beatles walking around. Kind of.
I haven't gotten a chance to meet Yumikis. I was doing early orders with him through Crust War.
Yeah.
I've been over a number of times, but I've never been able to sync up with him.
Well, he doesn't. He lives right out in the sticks in Kyoto Prefecture. He doesn't come to Osaka that often. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope one day I get to meet him.
You will. You will. Yeah.
He's always really cool.
He's doing good. Yeah.
I pulled a UK subs record.
Oh man, I just played that the other night. I posted it on my Facebook. It's like
Brand New Age.
Classic.
Awesome record. This one, I always absolutely love the artwork. I got to see them. They were one of the first, I'd say like real punk bands I got to see. I'd already been going to shows for a number of years, but kind of bigger things and stuff, or more pop, whatever.
Right.
I got to see the UK subs, and I remember going to the merch table and like, honestly, not really knowing a lot. I think I went to go see a local band and they were headlining. I bought that T-shirt and I got Endangered Species on CD.
That's a classic. I think like, for me, I can go up to about like E.
Endangered Species.
Yeah.
Yeah, every album.
F, I forget what F is. F might be a live record. And Another Kind of Blues is my favorite.
Yeah. One day I think I'm going to commit to trying to listen to them all.
All of them. They're doing like a lot of covers LPs and stuff now too, man.
I stopped trying to collect them all because there's too many.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of them are good.
I do want to sit down and just do it.
Yeah.
Does he still live in Japan?
No, he lives in London, but his wife's Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was living there for a long time, right?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe, I don't know, but
okay.
Yeah.
I think he's just there frequently. Like I know he's like he's medium a celebrity in Japan.
What? Yeah, they all are, man. It's like all of those guys. Yeah. And rightly so, I would say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gas Tongue Mother.
I was just hang on. Yeah.
I know you left your camera on. I've been watching for days. I'm just kidding.
That's a funny record because I like it. I think it's much better than the one before it.
Yeah, I just love the artwork, the cool.
Yeah. They had like the production on that is amazing. The songs are much better than Under the Sun. Like it's major label. They were a huge band at that time, man. Like playing like huge stadiums, you know.
They're still a band, yeah?
Actually, I heard they're putting out a new album this year. Or soon.
Yeah, when I was over there, I forget, we were walking around, I couldn't tell you which neighborhood, and Funiara pointed out the club. He's like, this is where they play their annual, I think it was a Halloween show or something.
Okay.
Or they have an annual, they play one big gig every I guess it's like 2 days sold out.
Yeah, well, the thing
He
with
showed me the
Evolve
club,
is,
and I was like, here it was like big.
like I saw them like on their first reunion. There's like that DVD, and I thought I was really late to the game. But this is like early '90s or late '90s, and I thought, wow, I'm really late to the game with Gas Tank. But they've been doing like many reunions and since then. So
They have so many records.
yeah,
A lot of EPs too.
good band, good band.
Pulled the New York Thrash compilation.
Hang on a minute. You've been watching me. I was just talking with Lewis Sickip all about that. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I saw that one. Yeah, that's a cool one. The Mad Crowd or Adrenaline OD.
You know, Mad Screaming George lives in Osaka now.
Oh, that's cool.
I saw like Funura hangs out with him.
Oh, cool. I saw some footage of them playing, and he has like this crazy eyeball mask, and I'm not sure if that's something he's always had or if that's something he's doing in Japan. Or
I think they played at Bears or like his band, not like last year.
Yeah. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Looping back around with my favorite band again, we got a nice clean copy of Diva New Traditionalists. Love them. The Impalers, Texas hardcore.
I don't have that one. I have the other one, Cellar Dwellers.
Cellar Dweller, yeah. That's like the really long song.
That's just been reissued though, right? I was like,
yeah, Static Shock just did.
Yeah.
Was it Static Shock? No. Yeah. Oh God, too many.
I was just surprised to see it had kind of already been reissued. You know, it's not that old, right? Yeah.
It's been a few years.
Okay.
This one, again, for fun Japan stories. This one's like a random record to kind of pass through our doors.
Jesus Christ. I didn't expect to see him on my channel.
I pulled it on purpose. A fun one for that is, so I haven't been to one in Osaka, but in Tokyo they do those karaoke type bars where they it's like a CD bar. It's like a booklet and you pick the tracks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? They give you like a binder with band names and you like say what band do you want, and then they bring the CDs and you can pick the track and they just play music all night.
No, I've never.
There's a place in Tokyo called Rock Bar Mother.
Okay.
I think it's just a tourist trap, but every time we go, it's majority Japanese.
Right.
And it's always been really fun. Our friends, like our American friends who live over there, always take us there. And they have everything in there. And it's really cool because, like, I mean, deep cuts. And you can listen to, like, Japanese hardcore in there if you want to. Like, Gauze is in there. But what I thought was really funny was the drunker I got, the funnier I thought, like, requesting Kid Rock was, requesting Marilyn Manson, requesting Korn, whatever. But then like backing it up, so I was like Kid Rock, Blitz, Marilyn Manson, Biohazard, Gauze, and people were stoked. Like people knew the words to Kid Rock and stuff that were wearing like hardcore T-shirts, and I was just like, it's a fun warm memory of being in Tokyo.
I mean, I've been to like chain karaoke booths that have had like Napalm Death You Suffer on them.
Okay. Wow.
Because I guess it was all released on like big major labels.
Sure.
And they just they make money from that stuff. So yeah.
If you get to Tokyo, check out Rock Bar Mother. It's a trip.
Rock Bar Mother. Okay.
I mean, they have like you could put lip cream on.
Wow.
You can also like play Eminem.
Try to sing along.
It's not karaoke.
Okay,
they just
listen.
play music for you.
Okay.
It's like one of those jukeboxes, except they do it manually.
Okay.
So like the wall is just CDs.
Yeah.
And then you just request stuff, and they put the CDs on for you.
Damn, amazing.
It's fun.
Bobby, I think like the last thing that we should do is do the thing that you showed me before we started recording is revolve.
Oh, okay.
So everybody can see the store, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So right now this is the new arrivals section, even the boxes on the floor, combined with the wall. What we're looking at here is the A through Z new vinyl. So this is everything that's reissue or new titles that have come out. You know, just like everything. I don't know how clear it is, but
there's Crass,
Crime,
Crude,
Cry Out, which just came out on La Vida, Cult of Youth. you know.
Dag Nasty.
Yeah, and it
Final
just goes.
Conflict.
Yeah.
Prompted.
So, you know, this is all the new. This is like a row of new 7-inches that have come out recently.
Is that the Satan reissue?
It is.
Yeah, there you go. Totalitar.
Oh yeah. So I'm holding a full-size computer, well, laptop.
You're doing a good job.
This is the new Arrival 7-inches. This is all new vinyl 7-inches, and then this is new Arrivals. So
Wow.
put them in here. It's always the freshest digs. Same with the LPs over there.
Yeah.
And then that was after everything goes from there, it ends up over here. This is just like the 7-inch graveyard, as we call it.
That's my kind of area.
Yeah, got some more wall.
Bold. That's bold. Brain Death. Is that Brain Death?
It's Brain Death. It's a reissue, or maybe a bootleg. But
it looks like a bootleg, yeah.
Got the CD and tape selection, DVDs up top.
Cool. Metallica box.
There's a Metallica box, yeah. And then here's some more used vinyl.
Oh man,
this is all used. This is all used hardcore punk metal indie.
Jesus.
And then this, well, those are my piles, but this section right here. So starting here, all of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. This is all new heavy metal and hardcore.
Oh man.
We have a massive, maybe one of the biggest sections. I don't know that, but I think it's huge. And that the other section is all just punk and indie. This is a row of hip hop.
Cool.
And then we've got classic rock, reggae, funk, soul, jazz, country.
Beautiful.
Contracts, techno. And then this is our 7-inch wall over here.
Right.
T-shirts. And then this
anything
is like
in my size?
Patches and stickers.
Cool. I like the is that Totalitar patch?
Probably.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
Stickers and
Motley Crue, the sword.
Posters.
Wow.
So it keeps going and going and going and going.
Man, so much cool stuff.
Thanks, man.
It makes you want to visit, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, one day. Hopefully not too soon.
I mean, I want to come over too.
Yeah. So really what I want to say to everyone, obviously, like, you know, Bobby and Tony and everyone, they've got all these cool record stores. So, you know, we can't imagine a world without record stores, right? It would be just a horrible world. So we should all support.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of online ordering myself and, you know, buying a lot of stuff from local stores and stuff. Because, you know.
Absolutely. It's been really tough because one major thing we had lined up over the last few years was we had kind of a connection to be importing stuff from Japan, and the mail's messed up. I don't think you can do EMS or Japan mail. This is a thing that's like over everybody's head. You can't order from Japan. I think the only way to get stuff is through a third-party service called Yamamoto.
Possibly.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's been tough. There's countries we can't ship to still. A lot of that's chilled out, but there's still countries we still can't ship to.
Right.
It's a tough thing. I appreciate you like giving us some time to focus on.
Yeah, we'll make this thing go viral, man. All that'll be gone by the weekend.
That'd be nice. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know how much time we have, and I'm not trying to wrap it up, but I wanted to. I can skip the rest of these.
All right.
Talk about Iron Age's Sleeping Eye.
Oh, classic. Yeah.
Texas has been getting hit this year.
That's been reissued recently, right?
$20 spin.
$20 spin. Great label.
This is an original pressing.
I have an original too.
Awesome. Yeah. Cyclopean Records.
Hang on, let me get this straight in my mind. I think I'm correct. So the singer of that band is the same singer of Eternal Champion. Am I right?
I believe you're correct on that one.
Yeah, which blew my mind because they're so different.
Yeah.
Are you getting the new Eternal Champion record in?
I haven't gotten the line on that one yet. I really want to. Every time I've ever gotten that record, it like instant sell out.
It's amazing. Well, the new record's out. I think it's out or it's just about to come out, but there's no way to get it yet over here.
That's a funny topic I want to bring up that's been happening post-pandemic is some of these really hot titles. I can't explain to you that we don't have them for hours. Hours. It's like, oh, hey, we got the new Rocky and the Sweden.
Gone.
Like, there's no more copies to get.
Right.
That happened with the Crow reissue. That happened with a number of things all summer. It's just psycho. Like, you know, I just think Japanese stuff, but
that Rocky in Sweden went pretty fast, right? But it's just been, what, you talking about the American reissue or like the
But I think everywhere. And then like the Nightmare LP we only had for a week or so, but that's that. I mean, there's been metal titles. The first time the Faceless Burial LP was issued on $20 spin.
Okay.
I guess that's on Mesake Eoho.
Jesus' label.
Yeah, man, dude, he's cranking out hits. He showed us a new explanation of like high selling titles, man. Like we started carrying their label and we're getting quantity, and they're just turning over. I think Daniel talked about it a little bit. It's like titles we would have gotten 10 or 20 of, we're selling 50 of, and it's just
really,
like,
wow,
shocker. But like that's what's keeping us alive right now.
Cool.
Like
that's good. I think everybody can kind of help each other out, right?
Well, that was another thing that was really cool. When this all kind of shut down, a lot of shops reached out to each other. Obviously, like I stopped and I reached out to shops I knew, and I tried to, you know, buy a couple things.
Right.
I own a lot of record store T-shirts now, happily, of course. But then I started having a couple stores that I was familiar with or maybe didn't know super well. They started like reaching out to us and doing orders and contacting us and buying our T-shirts and stuff. And I was like,
there you go.
It felt really cool, man. Like, because obviously we've been ordering from Armageddon Shop for years, and I'm very familiar with Ben, and we do email, but like, I don't know that I've ever really like hung out with Ben outside of a gig for minutes. And Ben's ordering T-shirts from us and a wholesale order of our catalog and buying records. It just like that was like a really good feeling to, like, you know.
Yeah, I was just talking to him the other day.
Cool. I don't really have the words for it. It was like it was like having a dude like that who like I just really admire. Yeah. You know, pop out of nowhere. It was just like, wow, this is cool. So
yeah, he's a great guy. Okay, man, you've been an amazing guest.
Oh, thank you.
For coming. So let's do the goodbye kampai.
Oh, sure. Awesome.
Cheers.
Until next time, man.
Until next time. Okay, everybody. Until next time.
Part 2.
Part 2 or 3.
Okay. We'll do a genre specific one.
Yeah. All right, cool. Good idea.
All right, take care.
All right. Until next time. Stay healthy. Stay healthy. Stay clean.
Yeah.